I do apologise, everybody. I think my game crashed. I'm not exactly sure what's caused that, but hopefully it will stay nice and stable for the foreseeable. I'm just getting all my links back out quickly, just so everything is caught up. That was an unforeseen error with the game. Anyway, we get back into it. Looks like Avenged Alf has taken provisional pole for the moment with a 128.3. We'll try and find somebody out on a lap at the moment, but that is the time for everybody to beat. Let's get all of our details back up once again. I am very, very sorry for that crash. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but let's try and find somebody. We'll keep an eye on Gaming Champ, because I do want to do a little track tour with everybody. With somebody on a lap at the moment. Kylo's just making his way out onto his first venture of the circuit this evening. Let's have a little look through the grid as well. Just Moman's out as well, so we'll keep an eye on that. Anybody about to cross the line? Not for the moment, it seems. Is a McLaren crossing the line? No. So we'll get on board then with Gaming Champ at the moment. We'll keep an eye on a few as well. I think King Panda is making his way around the track for his first fast lap. We'll keep an eye on that. But anyway, let's ride on board then with the Red Bull. It was actually just set a lap, so never mind. It said he was on an out lap. Maybe I was wrong. Let's ride on board. Who's on an out lap right now? Is it Kylo coming around? Kylo's well on an out lap at the minute. I hope no bugs have come in. I think Just Moman, our P2 in the championship, is about to complete a lap of 29.0. That's a decent run for the Ferrari, as he seeks to claim pole position in this qualifying session at the moment. It was weird, it was showing people on out laps, but they're not on out laps. Maybe I'm just being an idiot. That's really thrown me off that crash, but King Panda puts himself up into P7. Let's follow on with Kylo then. We'll wait for the Williams to start their lap. Yes. So I'm a little bit flustered by this crash we seem to have, but some good laps out on circuit just this far, with plenty of improvement to come. Hopefully there's no rain lingering in the background for everybody, well, for the drivers. I've not heard any reports thus far. Nine of you watching, make sure you pop a like on this stream, because the other one went down. But let's ride on board then with Kylo in the Williams as he begins his lap, as we do a little tour around Miami. Very, very hard braking zone, tricky corners here, as getting on the throttle a little bit too soon will cost you a spin in the start of this very twisty section as we ride along. Then it's shift down into 6th for the Williams, and then into 5th. You can probably go a little bit faster through there, but a little bit tentative from the Williams. A never-ending corner, and he goes a little bit wide. Very unlucky to not invalidate that lap. That's flat out all the way down here into this first DRS zone. Opens up that rear ring to give him that extra boost of speed as he comes down towards turn 11 on this track to begin that very technical section that I was talking about before the qualifying session started. Straight down into 3rd gear. That looked fairly clean from the Williams. Moving up through this corner. It's a very slow, twisty section. This is the tricky chicane. A lot of the drivers in real life hate this corner, and it looks as though Kylo does too, as he takes it very, very wide, and that lap's not going to be all that too representative of this man's pace. But he comes now into the final sector, opening up the DRS for the 2nd time around this track, down this incredibly long straight in towards this harsh braking zone. I think the sun is beginning to break through the clouds, so that rain I've been talking about looking like it's not going to show up after all. And these final 2 corners, very easy to mess up, as Kylo's going to come into the pits. It's very easy to mess up on traction out there on the exit of those corners. As I was talking, it's very loud riding on board, I forget. It's been a little while since I've been commentating after a summer break. We'll watch Curly as he comes around the track now on his first lap in that Alfa Romeo. We're just keeping an eye on a few drivers as they go around. Where is the Aston Martin. Let's ride on board with him. He's a little bit further along the track. Oh, never mind. I'm trying to find the next person to cross the line. That's going to be not Condis. He's not on a quick lap, I don't think. It's going to be OP Gamer. So we'll follow along with the McLaren coming down the main straight now. Down in P12 at the moment. Not a representative time for the McLaren, so he's looking to improve on his previous lap time. That looked like a fairly clean exit into these last couple of corners here. This could be a decent lap from the McLaren to mount a challenge toward the top, and it is. It's good enough for the second row. It's a 28.7, not quite close enough to avenge Dalf at the moment, but that's a decent lap to put him into P2. And that Curly's still a little bit further back. That's an improvement there from Saiku. I think that's his first time on the board. With a 130.2 for the Ferrari. The Red Bull's on an outlap, so he can follow back with WTF Curly as he comes down towards the start-finish straight now, and sets a 1:32.2. Not the fastest lap from the Alfa Romeo. That will be an improvement needed from him. Let's see, where's the Mercedes? The Mercedes has invalidated the lap. That is going to be a shame. That is a huge waste of time in a qualifying session. Especially when you've only got a limited amount of time. Is our pole sitter out on a lap? They are. So let's follow along as we come into this horrible twisty section. That looked fairly clean from the Alpha Tauri there. Bit of an off-board shot made it look as if he ran very wide. I'm not sure if he did or not. There's a dodgy camera angle as it comes down this long straight now, opening up that DRS. For that little extra boost. It's not as effective in this year's game as it has been in previous iterations. The ERS is far more effective than DRS is at the minute, but I'm not sure if the recent patches have made it a little less ineffective at the moment. But we'll watch car number 36. It's a 128.2, so sets the bar a little bit higher at the moment. I've missed that, but Dylan Sucksat has gone into P2, so closing that gap a little more to the Alpha Tauri at the front. Let's see, MTE Gaming is coming through the final couple of corners now. This looks like a fairly quick time. It's a 28.8, so it's looking fairly close between the top 5, top 6 drivers at the moment. All within a very short amount of time of each other. Let's actually have a look. Get to leaders, so the top 7 all within a second of one another. And I think there's definitely more pace to be found out there for some of these drivers. Is that King Panda? No, that's not King Panda. Well, that was, but I'm not looking for King Panda. It's May. Not the fastest time from our championship leader. At the moment, he'll be looking to improve for sure. That's Condis. He's starting his lap, so we'll keep an eye on the Haas car as it comes along. That's the Mercedes invalidating his lap time for the second time, it seems. That is not going to be ideal for him. King Panda then will be the next to cross the line at the moment. We will jump on board and watch along as he comes across the line through these final couple of corners. No spins there yet, and looks like there's a spin out of turn 8 at the moment. King Panda not improving too much on that lap time from his first attempt. Follow along. Who else we got? May is invalidated his lap. I'm not sure what the Red Bull's plan here is for this qualifying session, but it looks like an in lap for sure, is what I can say. So it's looking fairly close at the minute. Just Moman doing good. He's ahead of his rival at the moment. These two fighting it out hard in the championship, and there's no more wing for May and the Red Bull, so struggling at the moment with this Miami circuit. It's a very tricky track. I've definitely struggled with it on this year's game, and if you've not quite got the handle on this year's cars, then you will struggle with some of the circuits. Here comes Condis. This is an improvement, 1.2 seconds up on his previous best. This will put him in the 29s. It's P7, so it knocks May down to P8 now with a 129.043. That's a good lap time from the Haas. How about the other McLaren, Preben? He's starting a lap, so we'll come back and ride on board with him toward the end of it, if we can. Who else is out on circuit at the moment? Marshall has come across the line to start his lap. This is still his first run, so I don't think I saw him out on circuit toward the beginning, so he's left it late in this qualifying session. $11 people watching. If you want to leave a like on the stream, that would be very much appreciated. Need all the support I can get at the moment. Looking to try and finally reach 100 subscribers, and we're getting ever so close. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, then please do, especially if you've liked the what you've seen and what you've heard from me so far. We'll ride along with, this is IH Physics, coming around the final couple of corners now. The other AlphaTauri, can he join his teammate on the front row? Coming through the final corner now. Looks like a decent time. It's not quite good enough for the front row, but it'll be row 2 as he goes 5 thousandths of a second faster than OP Gamer in that McLaren. So these times getting ever closer, with Avengedale getting rather comfortable on provisional pole position at the moment. So that Kylo coming for a poor lap from the Williams again. He's going to continue to lament down in the bottom half of the grid at the minute. Condis comes across the line. I'm not sure that was a quick lap from him. It didn't look like he improved at that particular moment. Is that Marshall now coming across the line? It is around, it's a 31.0, so not the best lap from the Alpine. Trying to find who else is out on circuit at the minute. Then the Sucksats come in, hoping to try and get one final lap. I would imagine. Is that Saiku? Is indeed. He's coming across the line now, looking to improve on his lap time, maybe get into the top 10. Doesn't quite do it. Improves his lap time, but stays P13. Avengedale pole sitter then, he thinks he can go faster and he's going to try. He's on his final run of this session at the moment. His teammate way down on his previous best, so no improvements here. Keep an eye on those Red Bulls. They're going to come across the line to start their final laps very, very soon. Trying to keep an eye on some other drivers at the minute. I think Kylo will be the next to come across as a 1.3 improvement from him. So perhaps looking to get himself into the reaches of the top 10, but maybe not. It depends on how much he improves through this final sector. The final couple of corners here for the Williams has had a bit of a struggle of a qualifying session and doesn't manage to improve his position, but does improve his lap time by only a few seconds, about a second, something like that. I couldn't quite see it. Let's see, I think that's Josh Gaming starting a lap, thankfully not invalidating this and the next, so that is good for him. OP Gamer, his qualifying session is over, it seems, unless he's got plenty of time actually to go again, so he's just warming up those tyres and making sure they've got as little fuel in the car as possible. Marshall coming through now. Saiku is letting people through. He's stopped on circuit at the moment. I'm not sure what that's about. Is just Moman about to improve? No, but it's still time for another lap. A lot of drivers seeming to want to try and cut down the fuel in their cars at the minute and try and warm up those tyres. So taking that time to make a prep lap. Gaming Champ is 9 hundredths of a second down on his previous best. Can he improve in the final sector? Coming through the final couple of corners now. These will be the final runs for many of these drivers. And Champ doesn't improve too much. Sees himself into P5. How about his teammate? May goes into the top 3. And with a 128.7. Very, very close between positions 3, 4 and 5 at this current moment. Can anybody else get themselves in amongst it in the top 5 at the moment? Is King Sai Panda, sorry. Coming through the final couple of corners now. It's a decent time, puts him into P8, but that's not going to see him into the top 5. Josh Gaming's invalidated, so that's no dice for him. Dylan's qualifying session is over. Let's find somebody else out on the lap. I think most of the drivers are all said and done for their qualifyings. Kylo on a slow lap. Curly coming across the line now. It's not going to be enough to improve his position. Only improves his time by a tenth of a second. So I think that is going to be your grid for this Miami Grand Prix. Although Marshall is coming through the final couple of corners now. Can he get himself in the top 10? No. No improvement from the Alpine. Just Moman, our P2 series, invalidated his lap. So no chance for the Ferrari. How about Gaming Champ? 4/10 down on his previous best and has invalidated. So that is going to be it for your qualifying this evening. And a very close qualifying it has been indeed, with the top 10 all separated by about 7/10 of a second. Insane. Very close gaps between positions 3, 4 and 5 there. And 7 as well. Oh, 5, 6 and 7 as well. All very, very close to one another indeed. That was a decent qualifying session. Shame for a couple of drivers pre them crashing out, not getting to finish the session. But it's going to be it's going to be Avenge. I will get these names eventually. Avenge Dalfy will take pole position then for the race. Lining up alongside him will be Dylan Suckett in the Aston Martin, just 2/10 away. Rounding off the top 3 is our championship leader May, putting in a much better lap after having a bit of a hard qualifying session. P4 and 5 go to REH Physics and OP Gamer, with Gaming Champ P6, Josh Gaming P7, King Panda P8, Just Moman P9, and rounding off the top 10, it's Condits. The Fate 18, P11, Prebin P12, Saiku P13, Marshall P14, P15 goes to Kylo, 16 Curly, and Dead Mosquito in P17. Should be an interesting race. This will be the first time I've commentated on the Miami Grand Prix, at least. So looking forward to seeing the racing as it unfolds. 29 laps of this circuit around here, and street circuits do tend to offer some drama, a few safety cars as well, and I will be looking forward to bringing you guys all of the action. Please do make sure, if you haven't done so already, to like the stream and to subscribe to the channel as well. All of your support is very well appreciated, and a big thanks to oh, what? Oh no. Oh no. Oh, I make myself look like such an idiot sometimes, I swear. Oh, can I quit very quickly and join back? Probably can. That's my fault. I forgot to press spectator when I joined back. I do apologise. I'm not normally this disorganised. Hopefully it won't put me back in my car. That car. Crying out loud. Come on. Hopefully I can still get back in before the start of the race. Come on, please let me back. It's not going to let me back in. No. Ah, there we go. Well, I do apologise. That's my bad. I'm trying to rush around and get back in. I don't know if formation lap is on. Or not. I know it's causing bugs at the minute, so I'm assuming it's off. But I do apologise if I have missed the race start. Should everything be sorted by now, hopefully. That's my bad, though. I do apologise. I have missed the race start. I am very, very sorry, GRL. That is my bad, but it looks like Dylan Suckett has got on a very good start from this race at the minute. I mean, I'd have missed the race start either way. That's my bad. OP Gamers had a very good start as well. Hopefully there'll be no more issues at the minute. May losing a place off the start of this race as well. And it looks like Condits is going side by side with King Panda at the moment and is breezing straight past that Alpine to get himself up into the top 5 at the minute. The Alpine looking to come back at him though, takes the inside line and pokes his nose there, scares him off the track a little bit. He does the Haas and he gets that place back. These two going to battle all the way down towards the first corner as well, but it's Condits has got it covered at the minute. The Alpine coming right back at him, doesn't think about making that move this time. Just sits back and waits for the next opportunity. At the minute, I will try and cover as much of this as I can. Let me see, tyres, that's what I want. But a very close race start at the moment. I'm not exactly sure what happened, and that's my bad. I will continue to apologise, but I'll catch as much of this racing as we can. As Just Moment is going to go wheel to wheel now with Condits at the minute. They're going to go straight side by side along this corner. The Red Bull of Gaming Champions are going to get involved as well. It could be 3 wide as they go in towards turn 11. It's not going to be, as the Haas loses 2 places. He's going to look to try and come back if he can around the outside. The door is shut on him, and now the Aston Martin of Josh Gaming is trying to get involved as well. And it's very, very close between the two of them. That's great racing through this very twisty section as the Haas is trying to find a way back through, and it's side by side now with that Aston Martin trying to find a way through, and the Haas goes incredibly deep, losing even more positions. He's getting absolutely mugged by the drivers out there. He's got himself all sorts of out of shape and has lost a number of positions as a result of that, and he looks like he's under threat from the McLaren now. They're going to go side by side at the Mercedes and the Aston Martin at the moment into the final couple of corners. The Haas is trying to find a way through and clips the rear end of that Mercedes and sends him spinning. That is not the race Fate would have wanted at all. Let's head a bit further up as May is making moves in towards the top 3 and has got himself past OP Gamer in that McLaren at the moment. A very varied mix of tyre strategies. A lot of drivers, about 6 drivers on softs, 7 or 8 on hards, and about 4 on mediums as well. So a very, very split strategy at the minute. King Panda now making a move on the McLaren. Oh, and there's a spin and contact as May's gone around and King Panda's been collected by him in that spin as well. So OP and Just Moman get themselves up a couple of places after that incident a bit further back. It must have been one hell of a start for Dylan Suckett and Avenged Dale. They have cleared these guys by about 5 seconds or so already. It'll be interesting to see when the strategies do play out, as it's a very split strategy. Dylan Suckett obviously getting the jump on Avenge as he's gone with an incredibly aggressive strategy. The soft tyres don't tend to last all that long on this year's game, so going on them is a big risk indeed. King Panda looking on the defence at the moment. Those soft tyres are going to be weaning fairly soon. It's still fairly early on into this race, but he's got to defend off from Josh Gaming and Condits just behind as well, as the race starts to become a little bit more settled now. OP Gamer looking to try and chase after Just Moman at the moment. May peeling into the pits. I think that might be damage on the Red Bull. Perhaps he's looking to retire. We'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully I can make it to see that return, Ricey. It would be nice. I think I'm quite busy next Saturday. I'm not sure. I'll have to let you guys know over there, and hopefully next time I'll be a little bit more prepared. Josh Gaming getting very close to the back of King Panda at the moment. He was having a look, trying to find a way past that Alpine, but no dice at the moment. The strategies will come into play though, as those mediums will naturally come into their own over the soft tyres as this race continues. But King Panda doing a great job to defend. He's got the DRS of the Red Bull just ahead of him, which is helping him out at the moment. It's still quite the train from OP Gamer and Just Moment, who are in a battle amongst themselves for the 3rd position on that podium there. as we begin lap 5, as Avenged Alfie is looking to try and start closing that gap on the Aston Martin ahead, and King Saipan is into the pits now as well, so the soft runners coming in. So it's looking like it might be a 2-stop race for anyone who started on the soft tyres, 1 stop for those who started on either of the 2 harder compounds. So we'll wait and see if the more aggressive strategy has played off, or paid off I should say, for those drivers who started on the soft tyres. But May has got his work cut out, as he's down in P17 now, and he has a 5-second time penalty. So our championship leader looking like he's going to be lamenting for a while in this race, although a safety car could come out. You never know in motorsport. Anyway, OP Gamer opening up that DRS. He's chasing down Just Moment, applying the pressure to that Ferrari, wants to make him make a mistake and try and find a way past, but it's not working at the moment. That Ferrari is looking good, and if things end as they are, it looks like Just Moment will be our new championship leader as it stands at the minute. I'll have to have another look at the standings. I did have a brief look at them earlier, but I was sort of writing things down, taking some notes. But anyway, here comes OP Gamer then. Doesn't opens the DRS, gets very, very close, but still no way through, not close enough. In comes the Aston Martin then of Dylan. He's into the pits now, and Avenged Alfie will be taking the lead of this race. Moman has stayed out at the moment, and OP is just reeling him in. Those soft tyres just don't have it in them anymore. That tyre life is gone, I think, and it's coming into its own. Although OP Gamer managing to open up that gap a little bit more. Maybe a mistake from, well, perhaps a mistake from OP Gamer to open that gap back up. Just Moment doing a decent job thus far. Trying to look down, that's my ghosted car. It shouldn't actually be in there. I'm sure they'll just remove that. I am not in this race, I shouldn't be at least. The game is still very close. There's not many moves going on. There's a lot of battles though up and down the field, a little bit further back. That's just fate overtaking my ghosted car there, but he's chasing down Kingside Panda, who's just come in for his stop at the moment. Let's ride back on board with OP. He's closing that gap again. The DRS really not doing much to help OP out, but he's going to go for the move. They're going to go side by side, wheel to wheel through turn 17 at the moment, and it looks like all good for the McLaren, but they're going to continue to go side by side for the minute. Just Mooman not quite having the grip to fend off the McLaren, and that's OP Gamer up into P2, but it looks like Moman's going to try and come back around the outside. He's squeezed all the way. That's very fair racing between the two of them, and that's OP Gamer up into P2 at the moment, with Just Moman left to chase back and see what he can do to fight back against the McLaren. And McLaren doesn't look so great in this first sector where it's all twisty, as Just Moman is staying right with him. That's a Mercedes going for a little bit of a spin in the final couple of corners back there, bringing a brief yellow flag out at the moment. No safety cars as of yet, so that's very good. The racing seems like it's very, very good around this track at the moment. There's quite a bit of a scrap going on a bit further back here as King's Panda is trying to make up some positions. He's got Curly on the attack behind him, and he's trying to get himself past Deadly Mosquito, who I think, if I'm right, did have a qualifying ban, so that's why we didn't see him in the qualifying session, and he's done well to get himself up into P10 at the moment. These guys still scrapping. It's side-by-side, wheel-to-wheel action for the Alpine and the McLaren, and the Alpine looks like he's got himself ahead of Deadly Mosquito, who's on that harder compound of tyre and has got a lot less grip to use out on that circuit at the minute. So things are heating up a bit further up the grid as well. Game and Champ has got himself up ahead of Josh Gaming at the minute, and Mooman and Champ are now going wheel to wheel through the first couple of corners. Who will emerge? No, I'm sorry, that's OP and Mooman. They're going side by side again, reigniting their battle from a couple of laps ago. And Mooman has got them all the way around the outside. That was some great racing through that twisty section there as Mooman goes back into P2. He's got himself a time penalty though. That must be for track limits. It is. It's 3 seconds for the Ferrari. And that's going to hamper his race come toward the end. But OP Gamer doing a great job to stay with him. And Mooman especially doing a great job, as those soft tyres must not be in a good place, but he's really getting the most out of them. It's that Ferrari, but here comes OP Gamer again. Mooman's going to defend the inside line. OP's going to try and sweep all the way around the outside. I'm not sure he's got the speed to sweep round, but he's going to do it in the corner, and there's contact, which brings Champ into it, and he has contact with the back of that Ferrari. I'm not sure if damage is on in here. I've not seen it too much debris fly. Maybe it is on because somebody did lose their wing. So that's me being an idiot again. But that was some great racing between OP. He's gone all the way around the outside to claim P2. And I think Mooman might be thinking about coming into the pits again, as MT Gaming is now making a move on the Ferrari. These two side by side through the final corner, all the way around the outside goes the Red Bull, and the Ferrari sticks it in, and I think is coming into the pits finally, is leaving it very late, and did lose out a few places. I think that might end up costing him a little bit later down the line, but that was some great battling between those guys. A little bit further back, it looks like there is a little battle going on, and there is. Fate is trying to find his way past that Alfa Romeo. He's on old soft tyres as well, and that Mercedes goes all the way around the outside, while his teammate goes for a spin at the final corner. Very easy to lose it under traction there, and there's another spin as well. That's physics a bit further back. That's at the exit of that twisty little section there. I'm trying to think, it's 15? No, 16. Turn 16. If I'm not mistaken. Panda and Mooman swapping places. Mooman coming out in Moman, I should say, coming out in P10. He's still ahead of his rival May, the championship leader at the minute, who's still way down the grid, although he has made up some time, and that's the other Mercedes going for a spin. So pirouettes for the Mercedes duo, as they have a terrible race around this Miami Grand Prix circuit, as Mosquito comes out of the pits at the moment. Let's try and find some more battles up and down the grid. Gaming Champ is chasing after Josh Gaming in that Aston Martin, who has got that Red Bull's got no ERS left, half the battery there, so save some ERS, Gaming Champ. Get yourself a bit more power to use in your battles ahead, although he does look as if he's a bit quicker than Josh Gaming at the moment. Meanwhile, Dylan Suckett in P5 at the minute was leading this race. That's a spin for an Alfa Romeo, Alpha Tauri. So I'm channeling Crofty today. It's curly battles with my AI. There should only be 17 drivers in this session. My AI continuing to go around. I probably should have just retired in the pit lane, but I'd have missed even more action if I did that. Looking up and down the grid, Moman has made his way past Condis in the Haas. At the minute, he'll be looking to close up on Panda as quickly as possible, although I think Panda will be coming in for another stop, as he did start on the soft tyres. I think those hards will go to the end most likely. I'm not sure if, again, I've not raced around here just yet, so I'm not too clued in on the exact strategy of everything at the moment. Race just calming down. Now there's a few little skirmishes going on up and down the grid. Gaming Champ still chasing down Josh Gaming. Can he close up that gap? I don't think so. He's not got the ERS. He's in the slipstream. He's got the DRS, but it's just not enough. He needs that extra bit of ERS to get through and find his way past the Aston Martin, who is now peeling into the pit lane for his stop in this race. A one-stop strategy for those starting on the medium or the hard compound of tyre, with the hard compounds going fairly deep into this race. Gaming Champ finds himself in P3 at a 9.5 second gap for Avenged Alf, who is well ahead in this race. Moomin catching up to the back of Sai Panda now. And Josh Gaming's going to get involved in this fight as well. He's coming out of the pits as well. And it looks like Mooman's going to get his way past. Those cold tyres are going to be of a big detriment to the Aston Martin as he finds himself in this battle with Mooman, who was running up toward the front at the minute. And I think once the rest of the guys ahead of him have come into the pits, we'll continue to run toward the front. We'll have a gap to look at the gap to leader at the minute. Mooman, okay, 31 seconds, so perhaps not right up in with the top 3, but definitely in amongst sort of positions 3 and 4 at the minute. But looking to get his way past Sai Panda first before he turns his attention to the drivers ahead of him. And trying to just find where he can get past that Alpine. Maybe looking for the best run through here. Quite the dynamic camera angle as we come through here. We're right on board, try and wait for a better camera as we go. A much better exit for the Alpine. Spends a lot of time in 4th gear, did that Ferrari, and has messed up the exit, and probably won't make a move coming down into these final couple of corners. A little bit further up the grid is some action going on, is there? No, that's OP Gamer, and he's in the wall. Oh, he was running so well in the top 2, and in that twisty section of turns 1, 2, 3 has put it in the wall, and on the traction there's a bit of contact as well. That wing damage is going to affect him. It's going to have not a lot of understeer, but enough to really affect him, and he's ruining Gaming Champ a little bit there with that contact. I'm not exactly sure what happened. No damage it seems on the Red Bull at the minute, but a bit of contact. I think there's stewards in this league. They might have a look at that a bit later on, but that's a horrible incident for OP, and that's going to put his race on the back foot at the minute. Dylan Suckett meanwhile closing in slowly. He's got some wing damage as well, but he's coping well with it. It's not as bad as it was on last year's game, but it is bad. It's just Moomin, while I've been rambling on, has got his way past the Sai Panda for P7 at the minute. Sai Panda looking to maybe come back at him. Gets a decent exit, does the Alpine, out of this section here, so we'll see the Ferrari running in P6 and 7, maybe some team orders to come from the Ferrari pairing, but Sai Panda getting a decent exit out of that corner may come to challenge the Ferrari as they come along, but the Ferrari being dragged along by his teammates, so no move on the cards for the Alpine at the moment. Realise REH Physics is out of this race. I didn't see exactly what happened to the Alpha Tauri, but a shame for him. It's always a shame to not finish a race in this game. You put on all that practice and it all comes to nothing when you just crash like that. But these two still fighting, and just Moman has got the pace. Is catching up with his teammate now. This is the closest battle on track at the moment, so we can follow along with that for the moment. And closing in, he's not got a lot of VRS left. He's used quite a bit of it, same as his teammate as well. Panda's got a bit left in reserve to use at his discretion. Well, it doesn't look like Moman needs it. He's slowly catching back up. May, meanwhile, has got himself into the top 10 now, so he might actually score some points in this race at the moment. Moman going to be able to continue a defence against the Alpine of Sai Panda with the DRS now of his teammate, and his teammate is going to not going to fight that too hard and let him straight through, is he? Or I don't know, he has a little look around the outside, does the Ferrari, but he doesn't cause too many problems for his teammate as he comes sweeping through, although he looks like he's going on the offensive again, is he? No, I'm not sure exactly. He's going to continue to stay behind him at the moment, as he's on the older tyres at the minute, and once he comes in, he'll put on a set of medium tyres and go much faster, I'm sure. Panda now, though, has this other Ferrari to try and get past, and it's game on for the Alpine. Penalties for the Ferrari. We'll have a little look at the penalty situation. 6 seconds for CU, so track limits really burdening a couple of drivers out there today. It is not too difficult to get track limits. I mean, there's a bit more runoff around here than in a track, say, like Monaco. But it's certainly not the easiest thing to do is get track limits. Yeah, thank you guys. 12 watching, only 4 likes. I'd imagine some of those are drivers. Is this contact as they come through this next section here? And thankfully still going and no damage on the cars. But that's brought Josh Gaming, and this is very close, and that's not very good between these two, locking onto one another and forcing themselves into the wall there. That got very dicey and very quick, and I'm hoping that that's just some mistakes in the moment, rather than anything malicious, and it looks that way to me as CUK gets straight past. Maybe that position given back to him by Josh Gaming, and Josh does come into the pits. I think he might have damage on that front wing. He did have quite the impact with the wall there. That was not the best racing through that tight section. It is very hard to go wheel to wheel through there. Moman meanwhile was trying to catch up to now the second McLaren of Preben, who is yet to stop. So I think all of the top 5 are having to come in again. And is it raining? It's not raining, is it? Josh has come out on the intermediate tyres at the minute, and I think it is starting to rain. It's hard to tell at the minute, but they have a better sense of it than I do with the radio communication with the team at the minute. But I think I am seeing drops of rain. So this race is about to be turned right on its head, with Josh making a very, very early call, and a lot of other drivers making that same call as well. So is that too soon, or is that just on time? We'll wait and see, as the rain does start to fall here in Miami, and this is going to change this race for sure. Avenged Alfie 16.2 seconds ahead. He's just cruising out there. He's in a whole other race of his own at the moment, just on a drive. This is a practice session for him. He's so far ahead of everybody else at the moment. But yeah, it is definitely raining. You can see those drops if you look closely. They are sometimes falling on the camera as well. So this is about to get incredibly interesting here in Miami. Whether it's gonna only a passing shower or gonna go to the end of the race, I'm not sure. I'd assume all the way to the end. We might see a safety car in this transitional period. But the driver's seeming to cope well at the moment, so it's not coming down. So I think those who have jumped the gun a little bit have perhaps made the wrong call. They'll be much better in a little while, but they're going to struggle, I think, for the next couple of laps. Although I'll just keep an eye on Josh Gamer. I don't think his lap times are that good currently. I don't know, he seems to be closing in a little bit, but Preben and Moman again, I've missed another overtake, that's my bad. But Moman has Moman finds his way past Preben at the minute, finds himself in the P6 now. But those strategies are going to go out the window. The great equaliser has come to put a dampener on the race, pardon the pun. Yes, as Ghost was saying in the chat, 11 watching with only 3 likes. We would appreciate a few more likes if you can. Just push that button. All of the help and support is appreciated going forward. And I hope you guys are enjoying the coverage of the race so far. But Gaming Champ now into the pits. On for a set of mediums. I'm not sure that was the right call. I think he could have done with staying out a little bit longer. The rain is coming, and I think he's going to end up costing himself too much time, as Panda has come out ahead of him now. So Gaming Champ in P7 at the moment, and with this rain coming, I'm not sure how much further he'll get on those mediums before he has to come into the pits again. Any more battles on track? No, this looks like the closest one at the moment, but those cold tyres not serving the Red Bull too well, although they should be warming up around now. It doesn't take too long to get the softer compounds up. It's the hards that take a much longer time. Thank you, Ash. Yeah, those tyres up to temperature now. It's the Saipander coming under some pressure at the moment. It's going to be who can keep their cool, who can time this pit stop for the wet tyres well at the minute. That's going to find themselves toward the front, and if a safety car does come out, this race will definitely be turned upside down at the minute. Oh, there's a yellow flag. It looks like Kylo spinning and the exit of the pit lane. He's come out on intermediate tyres. Perhaps that a little bit too early. It's normally when DRS is disabled is when the time to come bring them out is, but it looks like the rain is becoming a little bit more troublesome now. OP Gamer, wing change for him, and a set of fresh intermediate tyres, as it looks like we might be getting finally into that period. A few wing changes up and down the grid for some of the front runners, but finally drivers are coming in for those intermediates. It is time for some wet racing, folks, as May puts in gets another 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And let's see whether or not these gaps toward the front come down a little. 33.2 seconds for Avenged Alfie. He can pit and come back out, and he'll be absolutely fine, I'd imagine, even if he does lose a bit of time to these intermediate runners. But I think Saiku, might be in a little bit of trouble, and maybe even Moman as well, coming out behind the likes of OP Gamer and Dylan Suckett, or Sucksat even. Oh, I see Dylan Sucksat COD. Oh, these names. Serving a penalty there. Perhaps changing a wing is the fate in the Mercedes. A few spins for him. But we'll see now who has got the measure in these wet conditions, as it looks like I think DRS has been disabled. I missed the prompt for that, but I think it has happened. Preben looking to find a way past Gaming Champ at the moment, not quite finding it thus far. Avenged Alfie in the pits. He's already making his way out of the pits before anyone has got anywhere near him. Moman into the pit lane now as well. A Ferrari teammate going to come in and two. OP Gamer has really closed that gap, so those guys were struggling hard on those tyres, and it looks like Gaming Champ has got a McLaren to contend with, as Preben is I think Preben is looking to try and come back at him. These two are going to be fighting in this wet period at the moment. Saiku coming out of the pits now. It was a double stack for Ferrari, so the second Ferrari losing out much more time than his teammate, who's come out in P4 on some fresh intermediates, and will be looking to put the chase on that Aston Martin and the McLaren, so we'll keep an eye on that as that battle unfolds. But it's Gaming Champ and Preben we're going to be keeping our eyes on at the moment, coming through this never-ending corner of turn 7 and 8 onto this flat-out section now. Drivers will be a lot more tentative in those traction zones now, but OP Gamer has got a lot of speed, and DRS is still activated at the moment, which seems strange to me, but the McLaren has gone straight past that Red Bull and breezed right past, and got himself up into P6. And with that penalty that Gaming Champ has at the minute, it's likely to stay that way for the McLaren. So a good day for those orange cars if they can bring this result home. But Gaming Champ looked very quick through that twisty, tight section there. So it looks like it's battle on once again as they come down this long straight. Is DRS still available? No, it's not. It was odd because Preben seemed to have DRS on that last one, unless it was deactivated within the last couple of moments and I've missed it. That was very strange indeed. Deadly Mosquitoes, for some reason, on the soft tyres, perhaps not deciding to come in at the moment. My AI's doing really well, running in P11, or I'm sure that car will be disqualified. But this is still the closest battle at the moment, and Prebin is just opening up that gap now. Wants to put Gaming Champ well out of his mirrors and start trying to catch up to Moman if he can. Keep an eye on this battle as it unfolds. Moman putting in the laps, trying to catch up to Dylan Sucks at the moment, and he's doing quite well. He looks like he's got the measure of that car in the rain at the minute, and is slowly reeling in that Aston Martin to try and claim that spot on the podium. And he's definitely deserved it. He's driven a great race thus far in that Ferrari, and getting on the podium is certainly what he deserves, although that penalty will hamper him come the end of this race. Gaming Champ catching back up a little bit now, trying to do everything he can to keep with Prebin at the minute, especially if he does get a penalty, because then they will be racing one another. We'll have another look at the penalty situation after that round of pit stops. It's 3 seconds. A number of the drivers, Psycho has 11 seconds of penalties. May that 5-second penalty from the start. Kylo 5 seconds as well, with Fate 6 seconds of penalties. So a fair few to be shared out among drivers, and those will be resolved after the race has finished. Moman's got some incredible pace at the moment as he's closing in on that Aston Martin, putting the pressure on now. It's not impossible to overtake in the rain, but it's made a lot more difficult without the DRS. But as I keep saying, DRS isn't all that much effective on this year's game. With the lack of ERS that Aston Martin has, I think it's just a matter of time before Moman gets himself on that final step on the podium. That's another spin. Who's that further back? I think that's Marshall going for a spin, perhaps. A bit further back. No, it was Kylo, it seems. I'm trying to catch as much of the action as possible, keeping an eye on those lap times and those gaps for you guys. Gaming Champ still chasing down. Moman's closing, but he's not closing as quickly now. I think Dylan has seen that the Ferrari's getting ever closer and is doing everything he can to keep the Ferrari behind. That's another spin in Sector 1. I think that's the Mercedes of Deadly Mosquito. I'm not sure he's got the message that it's raining. Perhaps the rain is beginning to wean off, but either way, 8-lap old soft tyres are not the way to go, and that's Fate out of this race. Could that be a late safety car? I think it is. That's a full course caution across the grid, and the safety car is making his way out, so the grid's going to get closed up. That is a big shame for Avenged Daff, who has sat in the lead from the moment Dylan came into the pits and has been sailing away with this race. And now the grid's going to get closed all the way back up, and we're going to have a restart whilst the Fate's car is cleared away, which I think it already has been. But that safety car here at Miami, and a late one, and it's raining. Just wait for everybody to close up, then a few pit stops, probably some fresh intermediate tyres going on a few cars. This is a chance for a few drivers to May gets rid of his penalty, it seems, but this will be a chance for a few drivers to get themselves back into this race, and OP will have a shot at the lead of this race, and Dylan as well, and Moman, who could see himself perhaps on the top step, but Avenge has looked like the fastest man on track today and has been leading this race for the majority, so I wouldn't be surprised if he gets that restart to perfection. I think he's just caught up now. He has. We'll have a few lap cars in amongst him as well, it seems, as Curly's there and a few others as well. It's been a decent race here in Miami. I'm very sorry that I missed the beginning. That was my bad when I rejoined the lobby after that crash. I forgot to press triangle. I just pressed join session. So I'll try not to make that mistake again. I'm not normally this unorganised and unprofessional. But it has been a great race so far, and I'm very happy that GRL have let me commentate on their race this evening, and hopefully I can make a few more of these as the season goes on. But I've been impressed with some of the action. It's not the easiest track to go racing on, is Miami. It's a very tight and twisty circuit with a lot of difficult areas, especially in traction zones. So the racing itself has been very, very good, very clean between these drivers, especially the battles toward the front. Drivers just coming in now. It looks like it's going to be about 3 lapped cars in between Avenge and OP Gamer at the moment. There is. OP is going to be behind that Mercedes there. He's just catching up now. I'm not sure what the lap cars are doing. I think there should be... I think it should have let the lap cars just unlap themselves. It's easy enough to do, right? But either way, I mean, they'll be ghosted for the race start, but they will get themselves in the way a little bit. So the rain's still coming, so no chance of it clearing up, although the sky does look very patchy. I don't think it's going to get any heavier than this as of yet. Do they make that real water in there? I was just having a look at the little marina, and Codemasters has made it. It looks real. Oh my god! Brilliant. I wouldn't be surprised if he does. He's got 3 lapped cars ahead of him, so he's got a very big gap to the driver behind. Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? Little Easter egg for everybody, especially in the spectator menu. We're just waiting for those last 5 cars to close onto the back, and I think that's Josh Gaming. That's my AI, so don't worry about that one. Condis, May and Marshall, with the 3 lapped cars in between P1 and 2 being Curly, Deadly Mosquito and Kylo at the minute. And if they don't catch up, we'll probably go racing on lap 27, giving us 2 laps, well, at the end of lap 27, giving us 2 laps of racing. But I think we might be back to green flag conditions before then. 9 people watching so far. How are people enjoying F122 at the minute? It's oh, we've got that's a late DNF. That's the Red Bull of MT Champ out of this race. He's crashed. He's done a George Russell and put it into the barrier under safety car, trying to warm up those tyres. He's out of this race. That's going to a huge shame for him. It's always embarrassing to crash under the safety car. Gotta do it when you're running in the points as well. It's big nail in the coffin. That is a huge shame for Gaming Champ. Yeah, I know indeed. That's what I was saying, wondering how you guys are enjoying F122 so far. The league seasons are getting themselves fully underway now. I normally commentate over APPF1. I know we've just started our leagues a few weeks. This it seems GRL's been going on, but I hope you guys are enjoying the game thus far. I can say that I do enjoy the racing. It's much closer, much more intense, but the cars are a struggle to get to grips with, I do find, especially with setups at the minute. It seems that there's no right or wrong answer with setups, although all of them seem to vary quite dramatically. So I guess it's a bit of a contradictory statement to say there's no right or wrong answer. But I think there's a safety car coming in. I didn't get an announcement, so it must be coming in. So Avengedale is your effective safety car. He can go from now to the line, and I think he has gone. He has indeed, and he's going to have a huge gap to the drivers behind him. Dylan's going to go on the offensive immediately. Going to try and go side by side with the McLaren. They go through the first couple of corners. The Ferrari of Moman is looking to get involved as well. There's a lot of carnage as they make their way past these lap cars. And it looks like Dylan's going to get the better of the McLaren, but he's going to stick it in. There's a bit of contact, and Dylan touches the wall. And the McLaren of OP gets himself... keeps himself ahead at the moment, but that might be damage on the Aston Martin, so that will bring Moman into contention. But Dylan goes up the inside into this long left-hander, but he doesn't find a way past the McLaren at the moment. OP doing very well to keep that Aston Martin behind him. Moman is still looking to try and find a way through in on these guys. And the lap cars just filtering themselves out of the way of these fights. A little bit further back, Preben is making a move on Side Panda at the minute. Side Panda is going to defend the inside line and is going to keep that position for now. A little bit of contact between the Ferrari and the McLaren as they come into turn 11 at the minute. A few positions jostling as well as May gets himself into the points. So will find himself scoring, although it won't be as many points as he had hoped for. Oh, and that's a spin, and I think a couple cars were involved in that. It looks like Psycho spun and Josh was collected. He had nowhere to go and find themselves both in the barriers at the moment. That is a big shame for those guys. Moman closing in, Marshall making his way past my AI, making sure that I don't score points. Dylan has dropped back from OP. He must have some light wing damage. It's not cosmetic, it seems, but it's definitely affecting him, especially in these rainy conditions. And but with that penalty, though, Dylan is set for that podium place, and it might even be P2 unless he gets himself a penalty in these final few laps. Avenge is just gone, and OP is going to try and close that gap if he can, but it's not quite going well so far. And Dylan's closing back up onto OP as well. There's no DRS, remember, so it's not going to help them as they come through in this wet race at the minute. King Panda looking to try and get his way past Moman at the minute. That penalty is going to hamper the Ferrari. We'll put penalties on 6 seconds now, so Moman can kiss that podium goodbye, I think, unless more penalties come the way of the top three. More like the top two with that gap at the minute. Keeping an eye on things, just trying to see where the battles are happening. Marshall's doing well to hold off this train of cars behind him, all seeking those last couple of points paying positions at the minute. But with 14 seconds of penalties for this Ferrari of Psycho, I don't think hope is on, but Moman is making moves. He has got his way past the Aston Martin of Dylan, and unless he can pull out a big gap in these next couple of laps, I think that podium will go the way of the Aston Martin, although King Panda is hovering around in that range. So if he can get close enough to OP and Moman, he can find himself on the podium. They're jostling a bit further back. The Ferrari trying to find a way past Marshall in that Alpine. No dice at the moment, although a little mistake from the Alpine's going to see drivers go around the outside of him, and he loses 2 places for that mistake, but they're going to go side by side. This is incredible racing at the minute to keep it clean for this twisty section. Side by side still as they go into that fast left-hander, and Psycho has to back out and loses the places to Josh and Marshall. Panda meanwhile making chase on Dylan, and Moman up ahead of him. He wants to get on that podium if he can keep that gap. Let's have a look at the gap to leader. Is that going to show us anything? Not quite. I don't know. It's close. If he can perhaps get ahead of Dylan, then he will find himself on the podium for certain. But I think P4 is on the cards for Panda. Maybe even... and it looks like Moman might drop way back to P6 perhaps, with that 6 seconds of penalties. Josh just battling with these ghosted cars here at the moment. He's got a number of drivers behind him. 3 second time penalty though for the Aston Martin. I mean, he'll drop back to the likes of Marshall. Panda closing in, going on the attack. Defensive goes the Aston Martin, leaves him just enough space to try and move around the outside. Doesn't quite work. Panda is trying to find the way through if he can. He's trying to find the grip in these slippery conditions, and is all over the back of that Aston Martin now. Aston Martin is being as defensive as possible, making that green car as wide as humanly possible. Does not want to drop back behind the Alpine and lose that podium place if he can, and Panda is doing everything he can to get it. We'll follow along with these guys. It's the final lap of this race. Avengers led the majority of the race and is on a victory lap now, more or less, with that huge gap he's got up ahead. Moman trying to close in on OP, but I don't think he's going to do it before this race is over. Condis is putting a challenge onto Preben in the other McLaren at the moment, but those penalties will hamper him in his efforts to claim P6 at the moment. Panda has got to try everything he can down this final straight. He's got to not mess this sector up and got to get the best exit possible. I've seen him get some decent exits through this final corner here in battles previous, and it looks like he's got a decent one now. There's a yellow flag a bit further back, but that's not what we're concerned about now. We're going to see what Panda can do as they come down towards the final few corners of this Miami Grand Prix. We're going to cut toward the front. We'll keep an eye on that battle for the minute. Avenge is going to come across the line to win round 5 of the Tier 2 Championship here, with OP and Moman coming just behind as well. Let's see, Dylan has managed to stay ahead and he's going to find himself on the podium and in P2 as well. He gets OP as well, so he goes from P4 to P2. OP demoted to P3 with King Panda P4, Preben P5, Moman in P6. 7 is May, a decent recovery from him. Condis is 8, Josh will be 9th, and Psycho will get the final points place with Marshall P12, Curly P13, Deadly Mosquito 14 and 15 going to Kylo. And I got driver of the day apparently. That was an exciting end to the race. I did enjoy that. There was some great racing up and down, but Avenge led the majority of this race and has earned that top stop on the podium, with the Aston Martin doing a great job to get himself P2, and OP just holding on for that final place on the podium as the champagne is sprayed. Yeah, I know, driver of the day, definitely not me. I think I might have caused a couple headaches among the league admins in GRL at the moment. But I got XP for that race apparently, so I'll take that. But we'll go to our final grid then, as Avenged Alfie takes a dominant win here in Miami, with Dylan Sucks Cod lining up on P2, with OP Gamer claiming that final spot on the podium. Panda finishes in P4 with Preben P5, Moman P6, May 7, it's Condit's 8th. Josh JS will be 9th, with Marshall's 10th, rounding off that top 10. Psycho P12, Curly P13 with Deadly Mosquito, Kylo, MT Gaming, Ron Kylo finishing off the rest, with MT Gaming, Fate and Physics not finishing this race. Lap 1, we've got Spannon in the first pit stop, but yeah, it was a decent recovery. That's a good job, Condits, getting yourself into the top 10 there. Points is points, so a good job there. And a big, I think my driver of the day goes to May. I think he had a terrible start toward the beginning of the race and found himself in the points. He may not have finished where he wanted to be in terms of the championship, but has still managed to claw some points in. And it looks like Moman will take the lead of this championship, depending on how much he scored. Well, that'll be something for the league managers and league admins to sort out, and I'll report back hopefully next week when I come back for GRL, if I can. But I'd like to say a big thank you to GRL for allowing me to come and commentate on their Tier 2 race this evening. I do apologise for all the technical difficulties. Some were my fault and some weren't, but if I'm allowed back next time, I'll make sure it's a smooth sailing ship. But that was an incredible race from you guys, so well done to everybody who took part, and looking forward to the next one. But I just want to say, if you guys could like the stream, if you get a moment, that would be a very big help. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I will appreciate all the support you guys can give me as I continue my commentary journey. I go into my second year now of commentating, and I do very much love it. But anyway, I'm going to stop rambling on now. I'm going to go and get myself a nice cool drink. It is very hot at the minute. But thank you guys all for watching. Thank you for the support. Hopefully I shall be back next week. I will see what I can do. But for now, guys, I will see you later on. I have been SUMO, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.